Have you ever felt that frustration of cleaning and cleaning your kitchen, yet it never really seems clean? For 32 years of my life, I struggled with this. My kitchen was always organized on the surface, but it never had that special sparkle I saw in magazines. Until I stumbled upon a method that transformed not only my kitchen, but my relationship with my entire home. It was on a trip I took with my husband to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary. We stayed at the home of a local family, and the matriarch, a 78-year-old lady named Tomiko, taught me something her family had practiced for generations. She called it Metal's Radiance, originally Kinzoku no Kagyoki. A cleaning system so effective that, once finished, it makes your kitchen look as if it were covered in gold. What fascinated me was not only the final result, a flawless kitchen, but how this method became an almost meditative practice for me. Now, at 53, I realize that the difference lies in the details no one tells you about. And that is what I want to share with you today. Before we begin, let me tell you a secret. The beauty of this method is in its simplicity. It isn't expensive products or gimmicky gadgets that make the difference. It's the attention, the sequence, and the respect for each object. As Tomiko told me, when you clean with respect, even the pots are grateful. At first, I must admit I was skeptical. After all, I have 3 children, a dog, and a husband who loves to cook elaborate dishes on weekends. How could a cleaning philosophy work in such chaos? I thought to myself. But I decided to give it a try. What did I have to lose besides the persistent stains on the stove that had haunted me for a decade? Step 1. The breathing and the clearing out. Yes, we begin with breathing. It may sound strange, I thought so too. But now I understand. Before touching any cleaning product, set aside 2 minutes to sit in silence in your kitchen. Take 3 deep breaths, observing the space. This moment isn't empty spirituality, it's an opportunity to truly see your kitchen as a visitor would, noticing problem areas you normally ignore because they're always there. Next, completely clear off all surfaces. That means everything. That toaster you never use, the spice rack, even that potted plant. Move everything to a table or counter in another room. When I did this for the first time, I discovered tomato sauce stains from 2015 hidden behind the coffee maker. And something interesting happened. I saw my kitchen as a space of possibilities, not as an accumulation of endless tasks. Step 2. The fermented vinegar water method. This is the secret that changed my life. Su no Mizu vinegar water, but not just any vinegar. Warm 2 liters of water until it is tepid. Do not boil it. Add 100 milliliters of rice vinegar. The key is that it should be aged for at least 3 years, if possible. Add 1 teaspoon of sea salt. This simple mixture dissolves grease without harsh chemicals. The first time I used it, I was shocked to realize that my countertops weren't beige, they were white. Years of commercial products had left an invisible film that this solution completely removed. The fermented vinegar component contains natural enzymes that break down proteins and fats in a way that synthetic chemicals can't match. My husband, who has always been allergic to commercial cleaning products, immediately noticed the difference in the kitchen's air. Step 3. The folded cloth technique. This step may seem trivial, but it makes a surprising difference. Take a microfiber cloth, or as Tomiko insisted, a tenugui, a traditional thin Japanese cotton towel, and fold it into 8 equal parts. Use 1 section at a time to clean, turning to a new clean section for each surface. This prevents spreading dirt from one place to another. You're just using a cleaning cloth. You might be thinking, I thought so too, until I realized that for years I had been spreading grease from the stove to the countertops and vice versa, creating an endless cycle of cleaning. When my eldest daughter returned from college and saw the transformation in the kitchen, the first thing she asked was whether we had renovated. It was then that I realized the impact this simple change had made. Step 4. The spiral movement. Cleaning here is something I had never seen in any conventional cleaning manual. Direction matters. Start from the farthest point in the kitchen and clean toward the center, always using spiral, clockwise movements. 4 vertical surfaces, like cabinets and appliances, clean from top to bottom in vertical lines. This systematic approach ensures that you never clean the same area twice and that dust particles fall onto areas not yet cleaned. When I shared this with my group of friends, they laughed. A week later, all of them had adopted the method. Maria, my 67-year-old neighbor with arthritis, said she had never finished cleaning her kitchen with so little effort. Step 5. The surface treatment with camellia oil. This is the step that truly makes your kitchen look like gold. After the basic cleaning, apply a few drops of camellia oil, tsubaki oil, to a clean cloth and lightly wipe over wooden, metal, and stone surfaces. This oil, used for centuries in Japan to protect samurai swords, creates a microscopic layer that repels water and grease. The first time I applied it to my granite surfaces, I watched in fascination as water droplets simply slid off without leaving a mark. My wooden cabinets, which had looked permanently dull, regained a shine I hadn't seen since they were installed 15 years ago. The most surprising part? When my 13-year-old son spilled spaghetti sauce on the countertop, a single pass with a damp cloth left not a trace. None. If you've ever had teenagers, you understand the miracle that represents. Step 6. The citrus steam technique. This step turned my microwave and oven from enemies into allies. In a small, heat-resistant bowl, mix hot water with lemon or orange peels. Place it in the microwave for 3 minutes, then let the door remain closed for an additional 5 minutes. The citrus steam softens even those stubborn crusts that seem to have fused with the appliance. For the oven, place the same mixture in a heat-resistant pan and heat at 150 degrees Celsius (302 degrees Fahrenheit) for 20 minutes. Turn it off and let the steam work for an hour before cleaning. The first time I tried this, I was preparing an important dinner for my husband's colleagues. I was so busy with the menu that I only remembered the dirty oven an hour before. In a panic, I tried this method. When I returned to clean, the grime came off so easily I thought I was dreaming. Step 7. The 5 senses ritual. This step may sound odd until you try it. It is where Japanese philosophy truly shines. Once the main surfaces are clean, devote yourself to an inspection using all 5 senses. A vision, look at your kitchen from different angles and lighting. Get down to floor level and look up. A touch, run your hands over the surfaces to feel for any residue invisible to the eye. A smell, take deep breaths in different areas to detect any persistent odors. A hearing, open and close drawers and cabinets, listening for creaks that might indicate a buildup of dirt. A taste, no, you're not going to lick your kitchen. But pay attention to whether you can taste any scent in the air. The first time I did the touch test, I discovered a layer of grease behind the stove that was invisible but perceptible by feel. It was the source of the slight odor I had been sensing for months without being able to identify it. At my husband's last birthday party, when everyone complimented the meal, I realized that it wasn't just the food. It was the complete experience of being in a truly clean and harmonious environment that elevated everything. Step 8. Intentional reorganization. Now comes the part that truly revolutionized my routine. Don't automatically put things back in the same places. Before returning each item to the kitchen, ask yourself, is this object used at least once a week? Is it positioned close to where it is used? Does it bring joy or just take up space? Following this principle, I discovered that 30% of my utensils could be stored elsewhere or donated. My electric can opener, which took up valuable counter space, was replaced by a manual one that fits in a drawer. The collection of cute mugs that occupied an entire cabinet was reduced to the 8 that we truly use. The result? My kitchen not only appears larger, it is larger. And finding things has become so intuitive that my husband, who used to ask me where everything was, now navigates the kitchen with the confidence of a professional chef. Step 9. The 3-minute commitment. This final step is what keeps your kitchen looking like gold every day, not just after a deep cleaning. Commit to dedicating exactly 3 minutes every night before bed to restore your kitchen. No more than that. 3 timed minutes. During this time, you wipe down any surface that has been used. Check for items that are out of place. Prepare something to ease your morning. I set the coffee maker ready to just press the button. When I started this practice, I doubted that 3 minutes would be enough. Now, I rarely need the full time. The secret is consistency. As Tomiko taught me, small daily actions create great transformations. And you know what's most surprising? The impact of this method went far beyond the appearance of my kitchen. When you have a space that functions efficiently, that feels welcoming and organized, something changes within you. I began to cook more, experiment with new recipes. Why? Because it is now a pleasure to be in my kitchen. My husband, who was always the just reheat what's ready type, started taking an interest in cooking. Recently, he surprised me with a homemade risotto, something unthinkable before. When I asked him what had changed, he said, "It's delightful to work in a space that seems to respect what you're doing." Our family dinners, which used to be rushed before everyone dashed off to their rooms, have grown longer. We talk more. We laugh more. All because the environment invites you to stay, not to flee. Even my utility bills have decreased. With a functional kitchen, I began preparing more meals at home, drastically reducing delivery orders. And here's something I never expected: my energy consumption dropped by 15%. Why? Because clean appliances work more efficiently, and an organized kitchen means finding what I need quickly, without leaving the fridge or oven open while searching for things. At 53, I look back and realize how much time I wasted trying complicated methods, buying expensive products that promised miracles, frustrated because my home never looked the way I wanted it to. What Tomiko taught me goes far beyond a clean kitchen. She showed me that true transformation comes from simple principles applied consistently: a respect for objects. When we treat our belongings with care, they last longer and serve us better. A mindfulness, being completely present while cleaning changes both the outcome and the experience. A simplicity, the best methods are often the simplest. A consistency, small daily actions outweigh occasional deep cleans. A intentionality, every object deserves consideration regarding its purpose and place. 2 weeks ago, my closest friend visited me. She walked into my kitchen and stood there, looking around with an expression of astonishment. "What happened here?" she asked. "It looks different." It wasn't just the cleanliness or organization she noticed. It was something more subtle, the sense of harmony, that everything was exactly where it should be. "It's as if your kitchen breathes," she finally said. And she is right. My kitchen breathes now. And so do I. Why this method works when others fail, you might be wondering. What makes this Japanese method different from all the cleaning tips you've ever tried? The difference lies in its holistic approach. Most Western cleaning methods treat each surface, each problem as a separate entity. One product for the stove, another for the sink, yet another for the cabinets. The Japanese method sees your kitchen as an interconnected ecosystem. Every surface affects another. Every object contributes either to harmony or to chaos. When I adopted this vision, I stopped fighting against my kitchen and began working with it. The results speak for themselves. Recently, my daughter-in-law, who had always been intimidated by the idea of cooking for the family, asked me why I seemed so relaxed preparing the Christmas dinner for 12 people. The answer was simple: because now I work in a space that works with me, not against me. She asked me to teach her this method, and the following month, I received a photo of her smiling in her own sparkling kitchen. "It's as if I gained extra square footage and hours in my day," she wrote. And that is exactly what I feel every day. One last secret, the power of Ma. Before I finish, I want to share a Japanese concept that Tomiko taught me which changed my perception not only of my kitchen, but of my home and my life: the concept of Ma. Ma refers to the space between objects, the silence between musical notes, the pause between words. In Japanese tradition, this empty space is not an absence, it is an intentional presence. When you create Ma in your kitchen, free space on the countertops, gaps between objects, you create possibilities. Possibilities for movement, creativity, and breathing. For years, I kept my countertops filled with appliances, decorative jars, cookbooks, things I rarely used, but felt that a good kitchen should have. When I learned to value Ma, I began to remove the unnecessary. The transformation was immediate. Not only visually, my own energy changed. Preparing meals became a pleasure, not a chore. Finding ingredients became a fluid process, not a treasure hunt. This is the true secret to a kitchen that looks like gold. It's not just about what you put in it, but what you consciously leave out. If you've read this far, you're probably as ready for a transformation as I was when I met Tomiko. Perhaps your kitchen is the chaotic center of a home full of children. Perhaps it's a rarely used space you dream of rediscovering. Or maybe, like mine once was, it's a functional but lackluster place, fulfilling its purpose yet lacking joy. I promise that by following these 9 steps, your kitchen will not only look different, it will feel different. And by extension, so will you. Start today. It doesn't require a complete transformation all at once. Perhaps just step 1 tonight. Step 2 tomorrow. In 9 days, you'll have a kitchen that looks like gold, and a newfound appreciation for the heart of your home. As Tomiko said at our farewell, her gentle yet firm words echoing in my memory ever since, a home isn't built solely with walls and furniture, but with intention and care. Your kitchen can be a burden or a blessing. The choice is yours every day. The choice is now yours. And based on my experience, I can say, it is worth every second.